What's up, people? How y'all doing? Hope you are good. I have got to make a slight adjustment before we go into this race. As you can tell, I have made a already made a work road. You don't want to see what I'm doing, so I'm gonna put you right there, just so you can't see. They won't see what I'm doing. Already made a bit, but don't know which one. Remember which one it is. Not that one either. Tell you what, we'll hide it. This league is brought to you by Tanso and sponsored by the Vape Group. You may already know. But let's bring the grid up for the boys and girls so we know who was where on the grid. And it was Stephen Parker Hamilton on pole position, Baz Cutting in third, Ryan Dudley. Baz Cutting was in second, Ryan Dudley in third, James Smith fourth, Kevin Randall in fifth, Ricky Flores in sixth, Adrian Anfield in seventh, Stuart Brealey in eighth, John Johnston ninth, and Dave Clark was in 10th place, running out top 10. This is another new league from Road America. I will put the sponsors logo in the corner. I did forget one thing. I had one job to do and I forgot. As you do. I forgot. As you do. But the boys already on the grid. This green flag racing as you do. So let's get it underway. Get it underway indeed. That is not right either. Yeah. No. Apparently I'm starting in place. So hopefully this is right. We're waiting on the lights to drop. We're waiting for the man with the checkered flag. We're waiting for everybody to get formed up on the grid and get themselves sorted out as you do. There you go. Here we all are. Stephen Parker Hamilton on pole position for this race. One around Road America. And he is away in the Vodafone Live machine. And Baz Cutting is not too far behind either. Indeed, heading down to turn one. John Johnson already dropping down a position off the start line. Heading down into turn one. Tell you what, this was another entertaining race. Another new league brought to you by Tanso Racing Group as well. It was pretty phenomenal. The racing was pretty phenomenal around it, gotta be said. Let's bring up that battle board so we can see all the ins and outs of the racing which happened on Wednesday night. What was that? What about that? Getting a little text message. I may never know. Stephen Parker Hamilton still leading the way. Adrian Anfield pulling the move on Kevin Randall, and the revive machine goes round. That's Ryan Dudley. Dudley is not one to make a mistake. Not one to make a mistake indeed, especially in the GT4s. But getting a little clip there in the Sim Sports machine. Now that's 6.7 seconds off the back of Dave Clark, who is just tracking John Johnston, who's tracking Kevin Randall is looking at the back of Adrian Anfield there as it comes through the carousel. Do love this corner. The carousel is pretty decent indeed. And we're all over the back door in this AMG versus AMG battle as we come through the sweet pot. This is flat in most cars. It's pretty brave as well. Gotta be said, it is a pretty brave move. Anybody fancies it, it would be me. I'm all down there on the brakes, as close as you like to the rear end of the AMG in front. I was absolutely praying not to get a ×4 for that, but we escaped without any drama as we come through 11 into 11.8 and into the final corner as well. We'll look down the inside. The man machine is on the outside. I think damage is on in this one as well, so it's pretty well to hang on. Try not to make any contact with any of the cars if we can. But still, Stephen Parker Hamilton leading the way. only by 18 thousandths of a second from Baz Cutting, who we've just seen in the touring cars. Now looking down the inside of Stephen Parker and getting that job done. Signed, sealed, delivered out of turn 1 into turn 2. That was a pretty good move. The two McLarens working as a team. Then we've got James Smith in the BMW, not too far behind, and then Stuart Breeley in the BMW as well. There's two McLarens, two BMWs, two Mercs, and then the only Aston Martin on the track is Dave Clark. And then Ricky Flores is in the 992 Porsche. Really tasty indeed. But Kelly Landa still not able to get past the AMG in front as he just pulls out, sticks his nose just slows to have a little look, but not quite getting that move done as Dave Clark runs a little wide in the only Aston Martin on the circuit. And the man-sponsored living machine. Don Johnston is in the ass-liveried McLaren there, looking pretty tasty indeed. That's a good little livery, gotta be said. Gotta be said. And a freebie for John Johnston as Dave Clark runs off circuit. Where is Ryan Dudley coming on like a bullet out of a shotgun? He's already on the back of Dave Clark as well, was from 6.5 seconds behind earlier on. But not to be in this 20-minute race around Road America, and already by the Manfield machine, signed, sealed, delivered. That Simtech machine down the inside, through the kink, and as flat as you like for Ryan Dudley, just scrubbing the tyres, getting them back up to 10 after his excursion earlier on. The Baz Cutting leading the way by 44 thousandths of a second from Mr. Parker. Not too much happening indeed. Dave Clark and Adrian Hadfield says was swapping positions there, and that's why that is Adrian Hadfield off in the kitty litter in the kink. Now he's going to have to wait for Ricky Flores. No, that is a retirement to the garage. Front end damage on that AMG. Full frontal damage on that AMG will put him in a fast repair state. Ooh, it's not what you want. Not what you want. But the battle commences with Baz Cutting leading the way from Stephen Parker. How close is it? How close is it? It's that close. Ooh, pretty silky interior for the McLaren. Pretty nice indeed. He's got the aircon on, we can just see this blowing in his face. Like and we're sweating like a, well, very, very sweaty in this McLaren. Putting Baz Cutting under all kinds of pressure and not too far behind either in the BMW. Sounds pretty tasty indeed, is the BMW. Having to feather the throttle as well through turn 4 and 5. Lifting off again as well. It was pretty flat in the Merc, as to be said, as we have passed Stuart Breeley. Well, it was Adrian Hadfield, to be fair, in that man machine. We took an excursion earlier on. Still in the pits, must be major damage on Adrian Hadfield's machine, as he's still not exited the pits yet. But we have got a little bit of a gap up to 4th place now. We have got 2.4, well, 2 seconds to beat Ryan Dudley in his pursuit of gaining another P positions from where he started at least. He is now up into 6th position from the back of the pack after that off, and it's 3.5 and it's coming down pretty rapid as well. The time for Stuart Breeley in that AMG machine. Ryan Dudley, he is a quick driver, he is very quick indeed. Baz Cutting still leading the way. I was just reading the message there, come through the chat. Very, very inconsiderate of me, I know. 2:16.36 for Baz Cutting and 2:16.90 for Stephen Parker Hamilton, or 2:16.91 for Jamie Smith. Who's James? So, Dave Clark and John Johnston, having a little switcheroo here. McLaren versus couldn't swallow, versus Aston Martin. Wide as well, a bit so. Ooh, big off. Ooh, Dave Clark got it a little unsettled there on the exit of the corner. Dare say he might have caught a bit of grass on the left side, which fired him straight over to the right side of the circuit, and a big off and a recovery for Dave Clark. Adrian Hadfield then will move up position. Pit crew done an amazing job to get him back out. He's currently running in 8th place and some. Well, it's a long way back just to catch John Johnston, but Bascotten still leading the way by 1 second from Stephen Parker. Not hanging on, just behind is James Smith. We are currently 8.2 off the back of James Smith, and Stuart Brealey is 2.2 off the back of us in the BMW. And Ryan Dudley there in his pursuit is 1.7. We are not even 10 minutes into this race yet, and a few off already. Where's Ricky Flores? He is nowhere to be seen. It is as you were. As you were right now. Bascotten still leading the way. Pretty evenly matched these pit. Identical lap times, more or less. Yeah, I did say I was going to go disappear, get cleaned up, and get ready for the GR86s tonight, but you know, I got so excited. I just did the comms for another league that's on, so I thought I would pull them in. And then I'll be all caught up. So why not? Why not indeed? Good tight line there taken from Stephen Parker in his pursuit of Bascotten. Stephen Parker has got the fastest lap, 2:16.10 compared to Bascotten's 2:16.43, or 2:16.68 for James Smith, and we are currently running 2:18s in this AMG, the Patronus livery machine, and pushing it to the extremities of the circuit as well. It's still 2.2 ahead, and that is Ryan Dudley, man on a mission, is on the back of the BMW driver of Stuart Brealey. Gaining and gaining all the time, slipstream working wonders. Now it will be on the inside for one of the most awkward braking zones on this circuit. You have got to have faith in the driver at the side here, and Ryan Dudley got that move signed, sealed and delivered. That Sim Sports machine. The Union Jack on the roof, looking mighty fine. Now up to 5th, he's only down 2 positions from his original starting spot. He's going to 2:16.2s, so he's matching the front runners already. He's 2 seconds a lap faster than the car in front of Kevin Randall in the other AMG, the Patronus livery machine. Won't be long before Ryan Dudley gets onto the back of that AMG either. Adrian Hadfield is in 8th place, down 1 position. John Johnston up 2 in 7th place in the livered McLaren. He has got 11 seconds to Stuart Brealey in front, and 1 minute 13 to Adrian Hadfield behind. Stuart Brealey just been passed by Ryan Dudley in his pursuit. That gap now down to 1.4. Ryan Dudley's a man on a mission right now. Ryan Dudley is only 13 seconds off the top 2 and only 11 seconds off the 3rd place man, James Smith. So with 9 minutes to go, I dare say he's in with a shout. He's done it before, as we've seen Eric Roman pulling on a drive to survive before. He is not one to act the count, and there you go, 2:15.51 coming. Ryan Dudley got the bit between his teeth, chomping at the bit, wants another position. They say he may get one soon enough. I wasn't expecting him to catch me as quick as he did, but he did. And that's Sim Sports machine. Did a Revive logo on it. Who sponsored the league we've just won. Already in the slipstream is Ryan Dudley. Not too far behind either. We try and go semi-defensive. Don't want to give him an option. Work a lot later than we did as well. A lot later than we did. I think we broke well too early there, but we have put in a personal best of 2:17.7. A tighter line there taken by Ryan Dudley. Got the power down just a little bit earlier. We did dabble in the brakes, ran with a lift and coast through that corner. He made catches through the carousel and the king. A lot better apex as well from Ryan Dudley in his pursuit of the Personas driver. Wider line in the carousel, gets a late apex, did the double on the throttle. Gaining on us just a little bit there as well as Ryan Dudley. So we run by dip tyre on the black stuff. We don't want any dirt on these tyres for the king. Or dip dab as well, that's causing Dudley to brake. Pursuit gained on us all the time there. That gap is 17/1000ths of a second. We're just going to park it in the middle, give him nowhere to go. Keeping him under, putting us under all kinds of pressure over Ryan Dudley. Let's hit 10 into 11. Then 11A is dipping on the throttle all the time as Ryan Dudley. He's forced an error out of Kevin Randall and around the outside. Looks like he has got that move done. Oh, not quite, not quite. But we are side by side on the long run down to turn 1 over the crest of the start finish straight. It's a drag race between Ryan Dudley and Kevin Randall. Ryan Dudley has got that nose in front. Are we brave enough to stick it down the inside? Not quite, we'll just tuck in. All about it, but not quite, not quite. That's Cotton still leading no way from Stephen Parker Hamilton in second place. Mr. Smith is not too far behind, just 8/1000ths of a second behind Stephen Parker Hamilton. Ryan Dudley then up to 4th. He's 10 seconds behind this top 3, and that gap already coming down as well. As we'll try and hang on to the rear ironing board of Ryan Dudley's car. So this front 3 separated by less than a second. Less than a second. Just under 5.5 minutes left to go of race 1. Get all to play for. That gap now, 10 seconds. 9.9. Coming down all the time. I'm pulling a gap already on Kevin Randall. It's 1.2. Stuart Breeder is 4.4 seconds behind Kevin Randall. John Johnston is 21.7 behind Stuart Breeder. Adrian Hadfield is a mile away at the moment. That incident cost him no end. Dave Clark still in the pits to not going to get him back out for the race here. Too much damage. We're going to carry on for race 2, I do believe. There's Ryan Dudley. It's 9.3 coming down all the time. We've just seen James Smith going through that corner there that Ryan Dudley is now entering. There on the start finish straight. Where's Ryan Dudley just coming on to the start finish straight? Oh, it's still all to go. Not that far indeed between these 3 either. Nothing separating the front 2. Pretty identical times. Just milliseconds between the 2. It's 1.5 to James Smith. Ryan Dudley has got that gap down to less than 9 seconds. We're hanging on pretty well, to be fair. We're 1.9 behind Ryan Dudley in his pursuit of James Smith, with just 16:44 on the clock. Just a few minutes left to go. Had that big off earlier on, did Ryan Dudley. Went down to the back of the order in his pursuit of glory this evening. But an impressive drive. He's still down 1 position from the starting position. And he'll be looking to regain that if he can. Bascoigne still leading the way. Nothing separating these 2. They've been like this all race. Bascoigne and Stephen Parker Hamilton. Now is the time to make the move. 17:22 on the clock of race 1. McLaren versus BMW. I think Parker is quite close enough yet. No, come through the black corner and down towards 7 and 8. James Smith. Vodafone Living BMW. Hanging on to that gap though, it's 8.9 from Ryan Dudley. He took a big chunk of time out earlier on, but not quite so right now. We've just settled into a groove. Just going up to 8.7 as it stands. Over the start finish line he goes. Do believe this will be the final lap for some. That's cutting out, still leading. Has pulled the gap out of just under a second. Stephen Parker Hamilton was falling into the clutches of James Smith. Pulling on stellar drive. Adrian Hadfield. Minor repairs to that car, but cost him nonetheless. He's down there in 8th place. John Johnston in 7th in the Aston Machine. Stuart Breeder up 2 spots into 6th in the revived machine. And we have got a bit of fresh air between us. We've got 3.4 to Ryan Dudley and 7.8. So running top 5. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Ryan Dudley, I think. After the recovery drive he's just been on, as we take a big slice of corner there, just behind Ryan Dudley. I think he'd be happy with this result if it was to stay as it is. It's like a McLaren victory so far for Baz Cutting in the GT4 League, brought to you by Tanso. It's, sponsored by the Vape Guru. I need to have the catalogue of sponsors up on the board there. I might just try and pull them all in if I can. The Vape Guru is $15, $15 for the winner of this league, I believe, as is in 1 or 2 of the other leagues as well, and the GR86 as well. I'll just stay with these because this could be the final lap. We head up the start finish straight with Baz Cutting, led most of this race in that McLaren. Baz Cutting is going to take the first victory here this evening in the GT4s. Closely followed by Stephen Parker Hamilton as well. And James Smith does hang on indeed, 3rd place. Ryan Dudley will come home in 4th. Great recovery drive from Ryan Dudley. Kevin Randall will come home in 5th place. And Stuart Breeder in the revived machine will come home in 6th. John Johnston will come home in 7th. Barring any mistakes, and Adrian Hadfield eventually will come home in 8th. Well, did all to do. Did all to do and all to play for. Pretty good. John Johnston crossing the line there, up 2 positions, not too bad at all. 7th place. Racing. If I ever race one, I've got to go to Ryan Dudley to be fair, to go all the way down the order like that and then make a recovery drive. Gaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions on his way back up to 4th. Just couldn't quite get on the podium. But is what it is. Great race one. Great race one. And eventually over the line. A long way. Just shows you how far back he was after the big pit stop that he had. He was up there mixing it up with the best of them earlier on in the race. Head that big off, nosedives the tyre wall, and ended up going down the order. And there's Wicked Steve with his flag. Vigorous waving of the flag. Yeah, it did take a while. It did take a while, you're right. Ooh. Still all to go. Still all to play for. Don't want to see me doing all this jazz. Oh, get rid of that. Eat one. Back to the live screen. There you go. So, is this set it right? No. It doesn't matter. So it is reverse grid. So it will be Adrian Hadfield from John Johnston and Stuart Breland and Ryan Dudley on the grid. So back to front. So we'll get underway for the feature race, race 2. Really phenomenal. Enjoy it myself. Was still getting on the lining up on the grid. Still 1 or 2 to arrive. Exceptional recovery drive. Countdown clock in the top there. Wait for everybody to grid up and form up on the grid. We are away. John Johnston away. Oh! Already Stuart Breland having contact with Adrian Hadfield and a colossal crash. That won't do anybody any favours. Not quite sure where that revive machine is going. That has just ruined his race. Coming together there off the line. Going side by side. Probably in the blind spot, to be fair. On the rear quarter of Stuart Breland's BMW. Sending him sideways. I wouldn't be impressed. I'll tell you who would be impressed right now. Kevin Randall down the inside of John Johnston. Ryan Dudley watching brief. Currently sitting in 3rd position in this 2nd race. Nowhere to go right now. Takes the inside line from John Johnston and up the inside into turn 4. And already having a look at Kevin Randall as well as Ryan Dudley. Will be off and away with a fear, as I do believe, if Ryan Dudley gets in front of Kevin Randall. John Johnston currently running in 3rd place. The front runner protagonists, I do believe that's Mr. Hamilton is down in 6th place. Adrian Hadfield is in 6th after that incident. Sorry, Stephen Clark is down in 7th place. Dave Clark and Ricky Flores not running as it stands. Fast cutting down 3 into 5th. We've got a little bit of fresh air. 7 seconds for James Smith. And Adrian Hadfield is 37.8 behind this pair. The Vodafone liveried machine, a little bit of a war room on the front of there, but running 20 seconds behind John Johnston as it stands. And Ryan Dudley putting the AMG Patronus liveried machine under all kinds of pressure as it fires it out wide through the kink in its pursuit of once again overtaking Kevin Randall this evening in this 25-minute race. Oh, somebody can make. Oh, Kevin Randall gets it out of shape on the exit there. You just see the skid marks on the corner. Got it a little out of shape. What happened? Oh yeah, powered out. Messed it up. Ryan Dudley then leading the way. He is comfortably in front now. I dare say he will be away and off with the fear is. Just got to maintain this pace if he can. Wouldn't do him any harm at all. John Johnston is in 2nd place. Running well indeed in 2nd place. Got 11.4 seconds over Kevin Randall. Baz Cotton, James Smith go down the order as well. All go here. Only Ryan Dudley's got no times up. One may never know. He's that far in front. He is that far in front. I don't know why the SBK keeps popping up. One may never know. John Johnston is in second place. Kevin Randall still in third. 11 seconds off the back. Somewhere there. Over the crest he comes. In the AMG machine. James Smith 47 seconds behind in the BMW. Adrian Hadfield not too far behind. 2.7 off the back of James Smith. Stuart Breelett, after that coming together earlier on. There's forced one or two retirements there. But nice to see it running. And there is the ass machine of Baz Cotton just exiting the pits after the pit crew doing an amazing job. We'll see how he gets on in this race. He's missed a couple of minutes with the repairs to that car. But we shall see. Trying to let off and down the road. Very much so. Off and down the road. We're 9.1 seconds behind. Apparently laps down as well. Compared to Ryan Dudley. I'm not sure we're that far behind. But yeah. According to the telemetry, we are all a lap behind. Timing issues there, I do believe. Maybe a couple of timing errors. There we go, 2:16, 2:18 I do believe, right? Dudley flying, 2 seconds a lap faster than the cars behind at the moment. We shall see. Time start coming in now. They start ironing themselves out at times. John Johnston running around second, that gap down at 8.2. Kevin Randall, James Smith still 48 seconds off this pair after that coming together earlier on. Did have to do the big switcheroo on the circuit, the turning circle of a bus. Adrian Hadfield is still up 2 positions into 5th. Stuart Breed is up 2. Baz Cotton down 5 to 7. Even Parker Hamilton says he's down 7, but I don't think so. As it crosses the timing beam and goes into 4th place. It will sort itself out eventually. I think it's that far behind at all, but Ryan Dudley still leading the way. There is Baggy's down here in 8th place. TRG machine. Still a long way to go in this race. Anything can happen, and it usually does in these GT4s. Still makes up for great racing. And there's still room on the grid as well. If you want to get involved, head over to Tanso Racing Group on Discord, Tanso Racing Group on Facebook, and www.tansoracing.co.uk for their webpage. Go check them out. They've just set up their own YouTube channel as well, so I would recommend going and check that out as well. Really, really good. Before I went live, I must apologise to the Vape Guru. I forgot to put the logo up in the top corner there, as we do. But I will get it done ahead of the next race. The only thing when you're streaming by yourself, there's so much to put on, so much to do. You got to run SDK timing, you got to run iRacing, iPaints, and all that jazz. So much to do. So 9.6 behind is John Johnston. We have pulled that gap down to 5.6 in our pursuit of John Johnston. I'll tell you who's got a bit between his teeth as well. Stephen Parker Hamilton was 46 seconds behind. It is now 30.1 seconds behind in this McLaren. Coming down all the time as well. He's coming through 11.11A. We're just exiting turn 1 as he's coming onto the start finish straight now. That's just how far back he is. It's down to 29 seconds as well. And you just see Mr. Johnston There he is. There is Mr. Johnston. Down into one of the most awkwardest parts of the circuit. I do call it awkward, I just don't like it that much. Others make it look simple and make it look twice as harder than it needs to be as we run wide again. Pushing it all over, picking up loyalty points as we go on. But Mr. Hamilton has pulled that gap down to 29.7. James Smith has 18 seconds to Mr. Hamilton. Adrian Hadfield and Baz Cutting swapping positions willy-nilly in this pursuit of regaining some, what shall we call it? Regaining some confidence for Baz Cutting after that coming together earlier on. He is down 5 into 7th place. He has just passed Stuart Brealey in the Revive Machine, who we've seen put on an excellent fight in the touring cars around Alton Park a little earlier on this evening. And great stellar defensive driving as well. And Baz Cutting was in the touring cars as well. It was really good racing. Very good racing indeed. Let's see them pair get on. BMW versus McLaren. Baz Cutting now is 12.3 seconds off the back of Adrian Hadfield, who is 6.3 off the back of James Smith. Mr. Hamilton has got that gap down still to 29 seconds. It's staying strong at 29. And we have got Mr. Johnston in our sights. It is now 2.9 seconds as we give him the lights. We're coming. We are coming, Mr. JT. Just have a look how close that is. That's what 2.9 seconds looks like as the time comes down all the time. We're pushing it to the extremities of the circuit as well in pursuit of a better spot. Happy with third. I've never been higher than third before, but I did win a race, which was a pretty unfortunate, to be fair, due to the mistakes of others, but we'll take them as they come. And we see a car just in front here, and that is Ryan Dudley. That got down to 3.2. I'm not sure if he's had a slowdown or he's just had a run wide in that AMG, but that gap down to 3.4. And we're only 1.7 behind Mr. Johnston now in our pursuit of bigger points, shall we say. And a silver step on the podium. So 4.8 and coming down. Now 4.5. 3.8. That gap's coming down all the time. So, stay streaking in. You're that leader. Kevin Randall in the back of the AS machine here at Road America. It's now 71,000ths of a second in our pursuit of John Johnston, and a better position on the podium. Being cheeky, giving John Johnston the lights just to annoy him a little bit. You know, you see him doing touring cars and all that. Highly unprofessional. I should behave myself. But when you're all in the chat room, you're having a bit of a crack. It is fantastically good fun. I'm hearing somebody. And there you go. John Johnston runs wide, and we get a free bit up the start-finish straight. And in our pursuit of Ryan Dudley, bringing that gap down really quick as well. Really quick indeed. Ryan Dudley up 2, Mr. Randall up 3, John Johnston up 6. And that gap now to John Johnston is 30 seconds to Stephen Parker Hamilton, and James Smith is some 19 seconds off the back of Stephen Parker. Adrian Hadfield is 7.8 off the back of James Smith. Baz Cutting is 9.5 off the back of Adrian Hadfield, and dropping Stuart Brealey by 2.9 seconds. There we got 1.14 and 229.96 last time around. That lap time from Ryan Dudley. Kevin Randall puts in a 2:17.87. Let's go see what the best lap times are. And Dudley apparently hasn't got one. One may never know. One. I don't know why Ryan Dudley hasn't got a best lap time. Probably because he went through that quick, it couldn't time it. Only time will tell. But he is 5 seconds up the road and currently leading this race with still 13 minutes to go. John Johnston put on a stellar show, and now 3.8 off the back of Kevin Randall, and that gap down to Stephen Parker Hamilton to John Johnston is 26.5 seconds. Coming down all the time as well, pretty quick as well. 25. Coming down very quick indeed. As is the gap between James Smith and Adrian Hadfield. I've just seen it coming down pretty. I thought the Stephen Parker was coming down quick, but this time it was coming down in droves. Adrian Hadfield in his pursuit of James Smith was 18 seconds, down to 11. Coming down. Baz Cutting is now 6 seconds behind Adrian Hadfield. After his repair job, pit crew did an amazing job. It's down 5 into 7th place. Stuart Brealey is only 3.9 off the back of Baz Cutting. Dave Clark and Ricky Flores out of this race due to technical and very big damage. So 2:17.5 coming in for Ryan Dudley. As Kevin Randall got in the bag. That is a 2:17.64. So the 10th in it, if that. Pretty identical. 2:17.54 for Ryan Dudley and a 2:17.64 for Kevin Randall's Patronus machine. John Johnston coming in with a 2:22.19. That gap coming down again. 23.3 seconds. Still all to play for. Still all to play for indeed. Can he do an Eric Ronenberg and get on the podium? Eric Ronenberg had a race and he fell all the way down the order in the 86s. I mean down the order. When you see the 86s, there's not 10, 15 drivers in it. There's 20, 25, 26, 27 drivers. That many drivers, and he went right down the back of the order, right? And I think we had about 5 minutes left to go of the race, and he put on a stellar drive and actually managed to finish in the top 5. Eric Ronenberg got driver of the night for me in that race, but he was phenomenal. Can Stephen Parker Hamilton do the same? It was 30 seconds 3 laps ago. It's now 21.3 seconds to John Johnston, who is now 8.5 seconds off the back of Kevin Randall, who has took a chunk out of Ryan Dudley. That gap is down to, well, it's that close. It is that close. That is a second. Well, a little bit less than that. A little bit less than that indeed. Are we going to see a replay of the favour? Ryan Dudley did his around the outside, then down the inside of one. 71 thousandths of a second separates Patronus from the Simtech machine. You do know Ryan Dudley has an exceptional turn of pace. Oh, as he gets it sideways on the curbs as well. That Sim Sports machine getting a little unsettled as we're going to go side by side up the start finish straight with Ryan Dudley, taking the inside line, going defensive down the start finish straight, and it looks like we have already got that move signed and sealed. I don't know if it's going to be delivered, but we're signing it, we're sealing it. We're going to hang it around the outside. These two are DSC teammates as well in other forms of racing. Ryan Dudley hanging on well, settled it up down the inside, maintains first place. Sideways again, little unsettled. Not sure if the tyres have gone on the rear of that AMG. But that gap now 16 seconds from Stephen Parker Hamilton in his pursuit of John Johnston, who is some 12 seconds off the back of Kevin Randall. Quite a bit between his teeth for Stephen Parker. And James Smith has dropped 20 odd seconds behind Stephen Parker Hamilton as well. Adrian Hadfield. Let's go. Coming together off the start finish line. But I tell you who's coming. Baz Cutting is coming. That gap is down to 2.7 seconds. And he's bringing Stuart really with him as well. That gap's come down to 7.1. So still all to play for. All go here at Road America. Front two, nose to tail, around the carousel. Do love this corner, do love the carousel. Again, Ryan Dudley getting in and out of shape. So we're going to look through the kink a little lift because we are in the slip. We'll only get fired off to the left hand side. Can do that to you. It will punish you at any cost there in the slip. You don't get that corner right, you are off and away with the Furies, and will receive some FD damage as well. Feather the throttle on through 10 into 11, and then over 11.8. You run my day, you will get up and pick up the times one. Down second gear wide again from Ryan Dudley. Not quite sure it's a faster line out of that corner, but it seems to have pulled away just a little bit from us. Ryan Dudley still leading the way then, just under a second. Kevin Randall and John Johnson a further 16 seconds back. That gap now 14.8. 14.8 with less than 6 minutes to go. Can he get on the podium? There is Mr. Johnston. He's coming over the start-finish straight now. About 14 seconds. Just entering the crest. As John Johnston is round turn 1 and 2. Oh, it's going to be close between them two. It's going to be very close indeed. 13.4. Now there's Adrian Hadfield getting on. And that is Baz Cutting. There's a whole host of time come out of Adrian Hadfield there. It's now 1.6. McLaren versus AMG. Now we know Baz is a pretty precise racing driver indeed. Feels like his apex is an exit corner speed. And that just proves 1.2 seconds to Adrian Hadfield. Stuart Wheely is now 9.5 behind this pit. So best of the rest for Baz Cutting and Adrian Hadfield, I believe. Just dropping off the back now as Kevin off the back of Ryan. Less than a second. It is less than a second. And that's what less than a second looks like from Baz Cutting's point of view. 81 thousandths of a second. Later on the brakes in this McLaren as well. Still manages to make a late apex, pushing it all the way out wide right. A little bit later on the brakes as well, catches that apex real nice. Oh, he's just going to fire it down the inside. Not quite sure what happened to Adrian Hadfield there, but I'm not sure he gave it up as Baz Cutting runs wide there as Adrian Hadfield takes that place back, but it is on the outside. Baz Cutting just ducks into the rear as we are coming up towards the carousel. Might be a better chance this time around for Baz Cutting as he tracks the AMG. Takes a tighter line than the AMG as well. Good line. They're saying in the chat that they think the AMG has got a better top end over the start finish straight as it seems to have sailed past a few. But I think the McLaren is pretty tasty too. We're going to check on the front runners very soon. I think Baz Cutting is going to get this move done through 10. Or the kink at least. Or is it? That looks very close indeed. That looks very close. A bit closer than there was before. Might set him up for the start finish straight. AMG does sound proper naughty. Does sound proper naughty. There's it right on the gearbox and in the slipstream is that McLaren. Gaining all the time. Going defensive is the AMG. Not giving him any quarter. Baz Cutting, there's a look, tucks right under the gearbox of Adrian Hadfield. And that is Ryan Dudley has been passed by Kevin Randall. I dare say there's another excursion from Ryan Dudley. One may never know, but it's 1.8 the gap. No, it's not. It's less than a second now. Ryan Dudley got a little bit, still pushing up and kicking up the green stuff. AMG versus AMG. 22 minutes on the clock. We've got less than 2.5 minutes left to go. 2.5 minutes left to go indeed. And Kevin Randall hang on from Ryan Dudley. Can he withstand the pressure that Ryan Dudley has to offer? Well, 14 seconds ahead of John Johnston at the moment. That Aztec Sim Sports machine. 2 mistakes creeping in. Takes a tighter line than Kevin Randall as well on the start finish straight. Oh! That's a drive-through penalty for Ryan Dudley. That is a drive-through penalty for Ryan Dudley on the final lap. I do believe this is a white flag lap. Kevin Randall then, off and down the road, just got to keep it on the circuit. Where's John Johnston? Ryan Dudley got a drive-through penalty as well. There you go, white flag is out. This is the final lap. Ryan Dudley got put in another place. Where's Stephen Parker? He gains another spot as well. Down 4 spots is Ryan Dudley with this drive-through penalty. And there you go. Got a podium position out of it as well. Did Stephen Parker Hamilton. Can it get second from John Johnston? Would be cruel. But racing is racing, and that gap is 2.1. And Ryan Dudley rejoins in 4th place. Must be kicking himself. I've got it on a time 17 as well. So unfortunate for Ryan Dudley. A couple of excursions costing him the race there. And James Smith is in 5th. Adrian Hadfield has still got Baz Cutting right behind him. Defending pretty well is Adrian Hadfield there in 6th place. And Baz Cutting pushing and pressing. Can't quite get that move done. And Stuart Brealey is down here in 8th place. Wow. 1.1. McLaren versus McLaren. The only Porsche we did have racing didn't race. So, wow. And that was of Ricky Flores as well. Meant to have had the 992. Would have been nice to see that one floating around as well, but it is what it is. So, where is it? Kevin Randall gifted a victory here this evening, round in the final corner. Ryan Dudley's drive-through, I dare say, a few mistakes crept in for Ryan Dudley, we wouldn't have caught him otherwise. But we're going to come up and over the crest to take our first victory in the GT4s. Race 1, absolutely buzzing my little head off I was. But is John Johnston going to hang on to 2nd place from Stephen Parker Hamilton as their pursuit and their drag race up to the start finish line? It's going to be as close as you like. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. And John Johnston holds on for 2nd place. Stephen Parker Hamilton, driver of the night so far. Ryan Dudley will come home for 4th. Won't be impressed. Was leading the way for so long, but is up 4 position. And James Smith will come home for 5th. That has Baz Cutting, he has done. Adrian Hadfield as well. For that instant at the start of the race. Only time will tell where it would have been. He would only know where he would have been, but he's coming home in 6th place as Adrian Hadfield comes home in 7th place. And Stuart Brealey in the Revive sponsored BMW will come home in 8th place. Wow. What a lovely little race that was. What a lovely little race indeed. And there it is. Kevin Randall, maiden victory in the Team Petronas sponsored AMG. And then it was John Johnston for Team Tanso in 2nd place. Stephen Parker Hamilton 3rd. Ryan Dudley 4th. What would have been for Ryan Dudley? Would have had a victory here this evening, but a few mistakes cost him. A couple of loyalty points. Drive-through penalty down in 4th place. James Smith in 5th. Baz Cutting in 6th. Adrian Hadfield 7th. Stuart Brealey in 8th. Ricky Flores in 9th. And Dave Clark 10th. Wow. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Cool to be fair. Really good. But hey, I'm definitely off this time. I've got stuff to do, stuff to set up. Need to let this PC code on. And we've all caught up. I'm in DK10. I'm out of here. Peace.